Finland are well known for building a vast variety of sports boats, and behind me here is one of the more established brands. This is Flipper. They are part of the group with Bella and Aquador. They've been building boats since around 1968, and this is the very latest 900 DC, which is at the Southampton Boat Show for the first time. So let's use the opportunity to take a closer look. Now, this is the flagship of the Flipper range. They are designed and built in Finland, originally by a raceboat designer, but moved into the leisure market, and now they're kind of the top end of the slightly more luxurious, sporty section of the Bella group. You can see they're all powered by outboard motors. In this case, we've got twin 225s. They will give a top speed of around about 44 knots, but you can also get twin 300s that'll give a speed up to around about 50 knots. So it's a very nice open design. There is a kind of T-top style as well, but this is the open DC, standing for day cruiser. But as well as being completely open, there is a very clever canopy system, which we'll try and show you once we've had a good look around the boat. So let's start at the stern here. You can see we've got swim platforms either side of these two engines. It's a traditional planing V design. There's no steps or anything, just a good deep V. Lots of little storage lockers here. Rather attractive sort of squared off cleats there on the stern, but you can see even back here this tiny little thin locker, ideal for a couple of smaller fenders and lines in there. We've got another locker over on this side, and you can see the shore power plugs in there, as well as access to the fuel. So really neat solution to having that tucked away under the actual locker, so that if you do spill any petrol, then it's easy to mop up. It's in a proper little draining locker. There is another lift-up teak locker. Well, this is not actually a locker. This is where the canopy stows. So I'll just show you. You can see, if you lift that up, you can see there's the water filler there. But this canopy runs all the way under this bench here. So again, if I unhook this and lift this up, you can see that this is where the canopy actually stows away. So all tucks in neatly are there, but also folds out, and then you can cover the whole boat with a really good canopy. So we'll show you that in a minute, but just wanted to show you where it stores. Really good seating area around here. This also has a folding backrest, so this little button here, if I lift that up, I should be able to do it. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. Oh, there we go. So lift that and swivel it, and then that can be locked at 45 degrees or goes completely flat like that. And then you've got a nice sun pad area here. That table also goes up and down. You can see that's on a telescopic strut, so that can go all the way down, and then this whole area here becomes one big sun pad. But lift it back up again, swivel this little button here, and that is what locks it in place. There you go. And there's the same up this end too. Swivel that and lock that back into place, and that's what holds it nice and steady in there. Really smart stitched sort of diamond seating. Table, you can see it's got a couple of inset drinks holders, but also folds over there with a little grab rail underneath. Now, pricing this particular boat with the twin 225s is around about £215,000, including VAT. But you can see there's a whole spread of different engine options, from 225s to 250s, 300s, and the price goes up with that. But this has got a load of extra equipment on, like extra fridges and air conditioning and heating and autopilot and a load of kit like that. Here we've got the wet bar unit. See, that lifts up. We've got a proper grill under there, good sized sink, fold up tap, really nicely molded out. There's even a little LED light in there. You see that? Quite clever, just touch on, touch off. So you can actually use it at night too. We've got one big fridge here. It's got the lock on. There we go. Oh, oh. Open. Oh. Oh no, sorry, that's just the vent. We've got an actual. Where am I? There we go. Sorry, it's a drawer. So it pulls open. You can see you've got a fridge in there, and then a little freezer section up there. Lots and lots of drawers all around this. You can see there's one lovely soft close as well. So little drawer down there. We've got drawers under the helm seat or the navigator's seat over here, all on little soft close positive latches. And look how many underfloor lockers there are too. And here, flip that up. Get your thumb in there, twist it round. You've got one there. Not a huge space, but to bother actually putting a proper locker in there with a gas strut to help lift it up. But you can see your covers fit neatly in there. Pop those down, don't want to stub your toe on them. But here too, there's another good one. This is a nice deep one. Look at that, that's a brilliant storage area down there. And then under these benches, so all these seats, again, look at the quality of this. There's no faffing about with popping cushions off. That whole thing just swings up. Two little gas support struts down there, lifted up. The cushion's still in place, there's no need to take that off first. Another really good deep locker under that seat. And again, this one here, I believe, also, again, you see, look, two proper little cantilever hinges. So there's no need to pop the cushion off. Whole thing just lifts up like that and slides back into place like that. Here is the button for that table, so that's a high-low table. You can see it's electric, so that drops down into place and creates that big sun pad area. Navigator seat over here, big flip bolster, but that also swivels round. If I can find the lever there, this is always going to be tricky with one hand, but you can see that swings round, so you've got a nice sociable arrangement there. It faces into the boat and then swings back and locks into place. Another locker under there, again, nice and deep one. But every single space, everywhere you look, almost the whole floor lifts up. Here there's another fridge drawer under there, so that's supplementing this one over here. There's just another chiller drawer there. Another pull-out drawer under the helm seat. Really good helm station here. Look how secure these seats are. See those big side supports there, big bolster. Again, very much with that racing heritage in mind. When you're doing 45, 50 knots, you want to be nice and secure, but really good driving position. Those slide back and forth, so you can adjust it to suit your height. Really good footrest here, so you can brace yourself against that. Attractive looking helm position. Big Mercury controls for those twin engines. You've got a repeater for the Simrad screens. You see this all single glass bridge screen, so it's all one unit, but you've got two separate screens, but there's no frame around here. They are just completely built within that single screen. Obviously you've got all the details there. You can go to charts. We've got vessel control, Mercury. You have completely customize this exactly how you want, so it'll show whatever information you want. You've got tanks here, got coolant pressure, absolutely everything you need. You can get access to it all through these touchscreen MFDs. Got the VHF, adjustable wheel that changes the angle. See, that moves up. Side power bow thruster, automatic zip wake trim system, windlass control for the anchor, and all properly kind of driver centric. So the throttles are on this little extension of the dashboard here, so they're right where you want them, next to your knee. Steering wheel bang in front of you, footrest there. Controls for all the major lights and navigation, windscreen washers, windscreen wipers, horn, very neatly laid out. It's just proper driver focused layout. And you notice on this windscreen surround here, goes all the way back there, so it's nicely sheltered. You should be below the level of the wind coming over the top, but there's also a grab rail, so you can see they've got the frame here and a grab rail all the way round. Just makes the whole thing feel that much more sturdy and secure, and really no shortage of places to hang on to. Now the steps up through the windscreen, so rather than having to make your way along side decks, there aren't really any side decks, there are guardrails here so you can hang the fenders off them, and even pop out cleats there that they tuck away. Big chunky rubber fendering all the way round. But then if you step up through this windscreen, you can see those fold up, and look at those good sturdy braces there, so that's going to keep it all nice and secure. You can see that folds over and there's a rest to take that there, but then you step up through the screen to get to the anchor locker itself. Now, there is an electric windlass on this particular boat, so you're not really going to have to do this too often, but you can see there is the through hull anchor and the electric windlass, and there's all the anchor chain and anchor road. A couple of cleats here either side, got the navigation lights, and of course that slightly sort of squared off step through bow, because in Scandinavia in particular they like to more nose to the little rocky islands and then have a stern anchor out the back. But let's make our way back into the cockpit. It's a good view down here. Actually, you can see just how well sheltered that big square dinette area is. And down these steps, using that grab rail, I might add, and then down into the cuddy cabin. And actually, it's not a bad size, this. It's all open plan, but you can see there is a little privacy curtain that draws across there. But we've got a big double bed up in the bow. Nice little hull windows here, providing a bit of light. And you see that foredeck where we were standing earlier, got this little patterned glass, so provides a bit of shade, and we've got a hatch through here too, so you can get fresh air in there. But actually, for a cuddy cabin sports boat, there's a good amount of natural light down here. Nice quality woodwork. You can see a little tray here for your bits and bobs when you're bedding down for the night. We've got heating and air conditioning on board this boat. There is a separate heads compartment in here. Now, this is a wet room, and it's not a full standing one. You have to really sit on the loo and shower down, but you can see you have got a pull-out shower there and a drain down there, so it is a proper shower room, but not a full standing height one. Window in there with a little opening one, window porthole too, sink, light, mirror, everything you need. It's fairly small, fairly simple, but actually rather nicely done. Good quality woodwork. Lots of lights where you need them, and then a second bed under here. So this isn't full width, you can see it's just up to there, but means that you have got a second berth. It's really one big single, or possibly a double at a bit of a squeeze. And then a little reading light here, more windows there, and then this rather stylish hanging locker in here. You can see you've got a couple of hooks here as well as a hanging rail, but rather nicely done the way it actually wraps around, rather than just a locker door. The whole side opens up to give you better access to it. And even a little seat here, so you can perch on the end of the bed, put your socks on, whatever. And even that step lifts up, giving access to various pumps and so on under there. I think that's for the loo, actually, the electric loo. So not a huge amount of space, but actually quite a decent little overnighting cuddy cabin. So there we go. That is the Flipper 900 DC. It's a really quick, open sports boat, but also a surprisingly practical one, with all those storage spaces, that overnighting space, lots of fridges, and that canopy system, which we'll also try and show you just before I finish up. Just wanted to show you how you can also cover the whole thing with canopies, so you can have it more or less fully enclosed with these side curtains. You've got the big main sunshade overhead, but those see-through side curtains also zip in and out, so you can enclose the whole thing on a rainy day and use it even when it's not quite such lovely weather. But it also all comes off and folds away to leave that lovely sporty profile. So underneath the hatch of the canopy there is another little service access hatch, so you can get down to all the electrics in there, right underneath there. So really nice to be able to actually get in there once you've lifted the canopy out of the way. So this is a really trick bit. Once you've disconnected those two little forward supports, the whole lot then folds together. Bit of a two-handed job, because you need to slide that section in. The whole thing folds together. And then the final part of the process is to lower it all down behind the seats. You can see this tucks behind the wet bar, that tucks behind the seats. The whole canopy goes under that transom bench. There you go, tucks in there. One hatch there, seat comes back up, and there you go, all gone. Very neat. And there you can see, with the canopy tucked away, you've got that lovely sleek, sporty profile. That's a good looking boat. So let's finish up here on the bathing platform. You can see there is an actual water sports arch here too, so you can hook your ski rope onto the end of there or inflatable water toy. Really fun looking boat. You've got the style of an open boat, you've got that canopy, you've got the little cuddy cabin, lot of versatility, and also a really good, fast, fun drive. And hopefully we're going to get the opportunity to sea trial it before long. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the boat, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.